Alright, good people. I wanted to show you, this is like one of my favourite flutes. I've got two go-to flutes. This is the first one, and it sounds epic. Definitely short weather now. In the space of like a week, the temperature has changed by 10 degrees Celsius, which is like ridiculous. Yeah, I always talk about like putting in like tons of work and, you know, reaching out to like tons of people, and like, it's so important to just have like that like 5-6 hour period during the day where you just like try to switch off. You know, you can't completely switch off. I totally understand, like I have to be sort of on hand most of the time, but you have to try to take that time to like mentally sort of just shut off from it, play some games, play Fortnite or something. It makes like a huge difference, especially like in terms of productivity, because you just basically stare at a laptop and watch YouTube videos anyway when you spend too long doing the same thing over and over again. So alright, good people. I wanted to show you, this is like one of my favourite flutes. I've got two go-to flutes. This is the first one, and it sounds epic. The plugin itself is a paid plugin. I'm not gonna lie, it's a little bit pricey. It's called the Korg Triton plugin. It's absolutely epic. This is like the go-to plugin from Pharrell. I don't know if you guys are young, you might not know, but Pharrell, actually you will know him because he's been fairly active recently, but Pharrell used this, Timbaland used to use this. I don't think it's got as many presets as Omnisphere, but it's pretty close. And you go into the browse section right here, and they've got all of these flutes, yeah, flutes and like brass sounds, and like there's just some really clean sounds in here. And my favorite go-to one is this silver flute vibe. Like this one right here is absolutely epic. Let me just show you what it sounds like. So like, it's a super clean sound. They've put like a tiny bit of reverb on there already, so it's not like super dry. So you can basically just use this out of the box. But for this beat, and to be fair, like I do this a lot with this flute, it's just add like some heavy reverb to it, and it sounds so clean. So let me just play it by itself. So nice, so nice. I know you're gonna be like, oh, it's so expensive. I think it's about $250. But if you want to save up, like obviously you're not just gonna get a flute for $250. This plugin has so many different sounds. This is probably the most used flute that I tend to use. Like I can't tell you how good it is. And yeah, there's tons of other sounds as well. Like let me just go into the other flute section and show you. There's this one. That's quite nice. Pan flute. But yeah, there's like a whole ton of like different sounds in this plugin. Like there's got strings, guitars, it's got loads of guitars. Yeah, this has been a proper go-to for me recently. I haven't used Omnisphere. I haven't even actually got Omnisphere installed on this laptop yet. The sounds are just super clean, and like they're clean to a point where you can do loads of different things with them, instead of like, you know, only adding like reverb. You can just do like everything with these. This isn't a sponsored video, by the way. I feel like I'm kissing Korg's arse a little bit, but it is a really good plugin. dog's funny, man. He just follows like whichever room I go in, he just follows me. See, watch. Moving. Alright then. Come on then. You guys may have noticed, like, in the last 7 or 8 videos, maybe a few more, basically ever since I dropped the Artemis kit, I've been using the Artemis kit in like every video. I didn't really want to promote it and be like, go and buy my new kit. Like, I didn't want to plug it in every single video because I wanted to like have it tested and just basically just like thoroughly like use it and try and test it in like different types of beats, which is why like I make varied beats. I've spent like, you know, best part of like 2 months using it now. Yeah, like I'm super happy with this kit. It's a decent size. I don't want to make it too big or too small, and the sounds are really like versatile. So for like the R&B type beats, it works well. For like the hard trap beats, it works well. And yeah, I just had to kind of hit as much as I could with this kit, so you didn't have to like go around and keep buying loads of other kits. Yeah, if you guys are like actually interested in it, I'll drop a discount code down below, and if you want to jump on it, if you want to upgrade your sounds, then go ahead and go and jump on it. I didn't really want to push it too much in the videos because I didn't want it to be like a trash kit and people buy it and then, you know, not want it or want their money back. So yeah, having used it for over a month now, I can say it's pretty now good. You've probably guessed by this beat that I've just made. I'm going to plug the headphones in so you can actually hear this properly now. This is like my second go-to. In fact, this is probably on par with the Triton flute, but like this one is way cheaper and it's not just a flute. There's like a gazillion other samples and sounds in there. And you don't actually need to know how to play it because the plugin basically does all the work for you. You just have to find what sounds nice by just pressing like one button at a time. I'm sure most of you guys have heard of it by now, but it's Arcade by Output. Now, like, they have this line, and like I use this line religiously. It's called Passport. Most of the lines and like the presets, yes, I'll show you for God's sake. They have all of these different sample packs, and you just take a listen to them. You download one by pressing that button there, click play, and then once you click play, takes you here. As long as you've got this thing set up here to the right key, you literally just play around with it until you get something that sounds amazing. It sounds like way more realistic because like all of these lines have been played by professional musicians and they've kind of like tampered with it and recorded it and done their own thing to it. But honestly, I cannot tell you how good this thing is. It's insane. From this last beat that I've made, this flute probably makes up like 90% of like the beat in terms of like making it sound good. And like I've added like another 2 arcades into this beat. I put in this vintage synths line. So like that first one, that Passport, is like one line. Then there's the vintage synths. There's like a hooked line where you get like all these vocal presets, which I've also used in this beat. But yeah, I put like this vintage synth thing in there as well. And then like all together it just sounds amazing. But yeah, so like that was that one, and then again like I added another arcade. I'm kind of going off topic now. I know this is going to be about flutes, but like that whole Passport line is basically just full of flutes. Oh, for God's sake. This whole line, if you look at all like the descriptions, like 70% of all of these lines have got like flutes and sort of like Arabic, Asian, ethnic kind of vibes to them. This may not be a specific flute plugin, but like it's $10. I think it's $10 a month. It's less than Netflix. Let me put it that way. It's so cheap, and like if you're a beat maker, then there's like no reason for you not to have this. The only disclaimer with it is that you can get too carried away with this and kind of stop doing things yourself. That's why I still draw in my own like chord progressions and all that kind of stuff, because I know I'm just going to lose the ability to actually make decent melodies. Back to the original point of the video, my top 2 flutes at the moment is that Triton flute, and there's like a ton of other flute presets in that plugin that you can use, and the other one is Arcade. Now I know you're going to be like, oh, these are paid plugins though, these are paid. There's a reason why they're paid plugins, because they sound like paid plugins. They just sound so much nicer than like those. There's that Redtron flute that I used to use. It just sounds levels above that. So I'd highly recommend investing in either Triton, because that's going to give you everything. The flute is amazing in it as well. And I'd also like I cannot recommend enough Arcade as well. Like, it's incredible. So yeah, new things learned today, probably not. Who knows?